then at what point am I happy, you know? I don't even know who I am. At least Duncan needs me. And the kitties need me. But what my whole my life purpose is to keep animals alive. No matter what happens. You are pretty great. Just go to bed. We're gonna sleep it off. Back of my mind, yeah, back of my mind. Everything's fine, yeah, everything's fine. I mean, it sounds like a lie. I have no intro for this video, so I'm popping on here really quick to film that for you guys. If you guys saw my last video, you would know that I was not okay. The video that you're currently gonna watch is like a week after the last video that you guys watched. So if you guys didn't see my like breakdown video, I still don't feel like I really explained what was going on in that last video, but I also don't think it's necessarily necessary for me to like go through and tell you guys. Okay, I don't think it's necessary for me to go back and like explain all of my childhood trauma to you guys and like the things that I'm struggling with and going through. Therapy for some reason makes you so much worse before it makes you any better. So that's the stage that I was in, where I was just like literal rock bottom. I was crying every day all day for like a week and a half straight. I just didn't know how to live my life anymore, but we got past it. This video that you guys are about to watch is from the day before I left to go to New York. I'm back from New York now. It was like a very hard day, but I kept going. I did a lot. I cry, so if you're like cringed out or grossed out by crying, like just skip this video, okay? Move on. I'll have a normal vlog for you very soon. I just forced myself to like get up and start doing things instead of just laying in my bed and crying, because that's all I was doing for a significant amount of time. And that is, I feel like, what like kind of like got me moving. So like this was the first day I really felt I could like see like a future again, like maybe life will be good. Here is the video that I filmed. It is not the most fun, but I feel like it's really real. Watching it back, I can like feel how I was feeling on that day. I'm gonna answer some questions that you guys have at the end of this video, so stay tuned if you guys want to see that, and let's get into it. I look ridiculous. Okay. Just reintroduce yourself. I'm uncomfortable in t-shirts. I didn't fix my hair for you, so not everything about me has changed. For years, I have been trapped in a cycle of depression and anxiety. I've been a slave to my eating disorder, and just so many things in my life have held me back, or I've allowed to hold me back. And I feel like you guys don't know who I am anymore. You guys have only really known me when I am struggling, because even when I haven't told you guys, I have been. And there's been times in my life where I've convinced myself otherwise, but at the end of the day, I haven't been who I have wanted to be in a really long time. And I also feel like I haven't given you guys a fair piece of me. Me and you stopped being close a long time ago. And it may not feel that way for you, but for me, I kind of lost the passion for this. I'm not really sure why. I let like numbers and money, like I let those things overshadow the fact that I have 600,000 of you who are by my side. Like I did that, you know? And I haven't been giving you guys a full effort this past year. I've done the bare minimum in order to just consider it my job. And even then, I haven't done anything to try and grow or get better. And so I'm not letting myself do that anymore. And that's why these past few weeks have been hard. And it might be annoying that I'm crying. I would love to get to a point where I don't cry over everything anymore. But like right now, I cry. We're gonna have to take it as it is and move on with it, you know? I haven't picked up a camera really since like the day or two after I got home from Wisconsin. Duncan is waiting patiently in his kennel. We're about to go on a walk. He just like walked into his kennel and is sitting there pitifully. I have a lot of exciting things coming up, and I feel like you guys have listened to me make excuse after excuse as to why I don't like my life here in Florida. I haven't been very ambitious, and there's just like so much about my life that I'm unhappy with, and that I'm in therapy to change it. As great as therapy is, it's just a tool, and I need to implement these things like in my daily life in order for me to feel better and get better. So I thought I was gonna take a break because I didn't want to show you this, because I just want to be like a strong figure for you. But I think the strongest thing is going through something and making it out better. So I think I'm gonna I think I need to share this journey with you, or I'd be doing you a disservice. Obviously, I won't share everything, but I would love to talk to you guys in the comments because I'm gonna try really hard to show up for you the way you guys have been showing up for me. Yeah, I've been going to the gym actually a couple times, so this will be good to get out and walk. And I just wanted you guys to know so we're on the same page, so I don't have to like see comments about like what's wrong with you, what's going on with you. I'm just gonna be open about it and hope that you guys accept me and will grow to love the person that I become too, because I'm not afraid of change anymore. And I know change can be scary for you guys. It's scary for me too. I just can't not change anymore because I want to be what you guys like initially fell in love with, or I don't know what else to call it. I'm gonna change, but it's gonna be good and it's gonna be better. And you're gonna see me having fun, leaving my apartment. I'm not gonna hold back anymore. And I'm making you guys a priority again for me, because I lost my priorities for a while. Let's go for this walk. It's already 10:43. I've drank some water and I've had a little bit of fruit for breakfast. I've been really struggling to eat recently. I also messaged someone, asked if they wanted to go get dinner tonight or something. It's a girl I met a while ago and I just never made the effort. So hopefully it works out. Maybe you'll have a friend. I'm on my walk. I didn't really vlog a lot on the way here. I don't know, it's like a mile or so from my house. And there's a person behind me. But you know what? Fuck it. I made it down to the water. My hands are shaking. I apologize. There's lots of fancy boats. Maybe I'll fancy myself a boat and buy one.
I know we still love each other, but sometimes I start.
We have a wonderful sponsor for today's video, and that is Thrive Market. I love working at Thrive Market. I've worked with them multiple times in the past. My Thrive Market box arrived a few days ago. You're never gonna guess what happened. I was so excited to open it that I just didn't wait to open it to film this. I was like, ooh, I want to see what I got. And I unboxed it all and left it in here, and my cat ate through the bag. So I need to see what is salvageable. This is the story of my life. But huge thank you to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. If you guys don't know what Thrive Market is, they just make it really easy to get all of the groceries that you need shipped right to your door and for a better price. Thrive Market is a membership-based online grocery store. So basically they have 2 different membership options that you guys can pick from. They have their 1-month membership option if you aren't fully ready to commit yet, but you want to try it out. And then they have what I have, which is the 12-month membership option, which ends up being a better deal at the end of the day. But if you guys aren't ready to commit, they do have that 1-month membership option for you guys. Obviously, I've been preaching to you guys about how I'm forcing myself to do things that make me anxious, but stuff like this that I can just have shipped to my house or auto shipped to my house is just so nice. And it's just like little groceries that I don't have to think about. They're just gonna come to my door, which you'd be surprised how much easier that makes your life. Also, when you're a member, you get so many savings that it ends up being a lot cheaper than if you just went to the grocery store. They have a bunch of different diet options. So let's say you're eating keto, you can click the keto button and it's only gonna show you keto foods, paleo, gluten-free, vegan, and all orders over $49 are shipped for free. All of their packages are also delivered in carbon neutral packaging from their zero waste warehouses. They also have something called a Thrive Gives program, which means for every 1 membership that we buy, you buy, they give a membership to a family that needs it. And to date, they have donated $4 million to families in need. That's a lot of money. So let's just look at what I got, even though my cat ruined it. I got some nutritional yeast because I see people use this on things. I don't know, I think it's supposed to be kind of like cheese. We'll figure out how to use that. I'm really excited about these. The box kind of got chewed, but they're frozen smoothie shots. The Thrive Market brand, grain-free granola, vanilla, Cinna Yum. There's oats in here, but that's just, there's no saving these oats. Organic chia seeds, some pumpkin bread and muffin mix because it is that time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Hope you guys can see this. I stocked up on a bunch of spices. Cinnamon and Ceylon cinnamon. I just really wanted to know what the difference was. Adobo, meat and potato, onion powder, barbecue rub, pumpkin pie spice, paprika, ground cumin, oregano, and garlic powder. My food will never be unseasoned again. Huge thank you to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. It's always a pleasure to work with them. Thrive Market has something very special just for you. If you join today, you're gonna get 25% off your first order with Thrive Market, and you're gonna get a free gift. Who doesn't love free gifts? Now I can make some freaking pumpkin bread tomorrow, probably, not today. It is later in the day. I put on a dress. I don't know if I think it looks like a grandma dress or not, but got some lace on it. I am going to be getting ready. It's 3:30. I have plenty of time. I have to be at dinner at 5:30. I'm just gonna do my like signature twists in my hair, and I'm gonna put on a little bit of makeup because maybe then I won't cry it off. We have decided to go get sushi. It was her idea. I've had sushi one time, a singular sushi roll once, like a piece of sushi, and I don't remember liking it. I need to challenge myself to do things that give me anxiety, and trying new foods is that. We're gonna go have sushi. It's gonna be great. Like, how long do lunches, no, this is dinner. How long does dinner last with a new friend? But then I need to come back here and pack my bags because I'm going to New York tomorrow for a very exciting thing that me and Andrew are doing, which you guys will know about very soon, I'm sure. We've been like planning this for such a long time. We just have never fully came to fruition yet, but we're there now. I am bringing Duncan with me on the plane. It's like $125 to bring your pet, but they have to like fit under the seat. So I'm grateful that my dog is small, but that's still giving me anxiety because I've never done it before. And then the girl that watched Duncan when I went to Wisconsin is gonna come watch the cats. I don't know, I'm just gonna get a little ready and just try to like cover up the fact that I've been crying for 2 weeks. Everyone always says like when you're in therapy, things get harder before they get better. And you hear it all the time, or at least I heard it all the time. And like I always knew that's what everyone said, but to go through it yourself is really weird because you expect to be feeling so much better, and in some ways you do. But I've been in therapy in the past. I don't know if I necessarily 100% vibed with my old therapist. My therapist now, this is not the right color. She's an absolute sweetheart. We love her, we stan her. I feel like my experience this time around is a little bit different. I don't know, it's just something else. Like every other time I've tried to get help, like think I want it, and then I never like fully accept the help. At the end of the day, therapy is just a tool. If you're not like implementing the things that you want to change in your life, you're not going to see the changes. You're not going to see the growth that can be made from therapy and from just opening up to someone and allowing someone to help you. Therapy is scary, but there's so many benefits you can get from it. I'm just trying to get through the part where it feels like everything is falling apart. And if I can get through that part, then it can't get worse, you know? I felt a little bit better after my walk. I know mornings and nights are probably the hardest part. You have so much time to just like sit with your own thoughts. Obviously easier if you're keeping yourself busy. Mama Kelly's coming here for my birthday, which will be so much fun. I'm just really busy, and a lot of people in my life are really busy. It's just like getting through this next like time period of having to really spend a lot of time by myself, and it can only like benefit the relationships that I have. But maybe that's exactly what I needed because I haven't pushed myself out of my comfort zone because I tend to like either keep my mom here with me, Gerald here with me, Andrew here with me, and so now I'm gonna be here with myself for a while. I mean, I am going to New York and my mom's coming for my birthday. Like maybe I was hiding from things for a really long time, and these last few weeks and these next month or two, however long it takes, are gonna really make me step out of my shell and stop hiding. Who knows what life will be like at the end of it, but I'll be better for it. I ended up just doing a very basic makeup, some mascara. Was gonna put false lashes on, but then I just realized what of effort that's gonna take. But now I just have to do my hair. I'm gonna do my like signature twisties into buns because it's simple and easy, and it doesn't require me putting heat on my hair because she's already fried. Crazy how different our day can go, you know? Just by putting a little effort in for ourselves. I am ready. I'm feeling pretty good. I'll show you my outfit. I'm wearing jeans, Mama Queens, this cute little black blouse with just my regular jewelry and some earrings. The place is literally a 3-minute drive from my house. I should totally walk, but I already went on a walk today. Okay, y'all are slacking. So I figured since I do such a bad job of explaining in this video, I was just filming a day that I was trying to keep moving and keep going. In the moment, I kind of do a bad job of explaining what's going on, and I figured I'd ask you guys some questions on Instagram and see what advice you guys want or any questions that you guys have. And that way I would have a more directed focus and I wouldn't just be all over the place. At this point in my life, I was doing a lot of crying. I cry a decent amount in general, but when I'm more stable, it's not as bad. I'm not gonna gonna make you guys sit through this for forever. If you guys have any other questions, maybe you guys want to see a whole video on my advice because I'm so wise. I know therapy isn't something that everyone can get. I know it's a privilege and a luxury. If you guys want like a video all about what I've learned from therapy,
I'm pretty sure that's legal.
I kind of just picked the questions that I was seeing over and over again, written in different ways. A ton of you guys wanted to know how I found my therapist, and honestly, I just went online and Googled therapists near me. A lot of times, therapy buildings, therapy offices, like the business that has therapists, they have like a website and then they list all of their current therapists that work for them, read a little bit about them, what they specialize in. So I kind of did that across a few websites. I've had a therapist in the past, okay? She was older. They really do say that like you have to have like the right therapist in order to be like excited to go back to therapy. Everyone talks about things differently. Everyone learns differently. That's why everyone like likes different teachers at school and stuff. Yes, it's as simple as like going online, Googling it, picking one and going. I know my girl had like a free 30-minute get to know me session, so you don't have to pay for it unless you like them. But like just look around. Try a few. Don't get discouraged if the first one's an asshole. If the first one doesn't really vibe with you, or the third one doesn't vibe with you. If there's anything I've learned, there's a shit ton of therapists. Like everyone wants to be a therapist. I couldn't be a therapist because I would either cry at everyone's problems or tell them to suck it up. Gerald back here, he is the best therapist. The amount of stuff that he has told me that my therapist has also told me like after the fact, I'll call him and be like, you're never gonna guess what my therapist said today. If his job doesn't ever work out, he can definitely become a therapist. A lot of you guys were also asking this question, which is, do you think it will get better if you go back to Wisconsin? I was holding on to the tiniest part of that feeling up until I went home like last month. Has it been a month? I was a little nervous that I would go back to Wisconsin, realize I made a mistake by moving, because I did move like really abruptly because that's how I do things in my life. As happy as I was to like see my mom, see Jaden, see my sister, see Rachel, like people that still live there that I know, I just realized that it's not where I need to be. I've always, since I was little, wanted something more than Wisconsin. I just was too scared to do something that everyone else wasn't doing. So even though I was doing YouTube at the time, it wasn't my full-time job. I went to a small college in Wisconsin. It was one of the 3 schools everyone went to. I just tried to like follow the mold of what people typically do in like a small town in Wisconsin. I don't want to like hate on anyone that wants that for their life because everyone's different. Some people want to graduate high school, go to college, get married. Most of them become nurses, have babies. That's like literally what almost everybody where I grew up does, which is totally fine if that's what you want to do with your life. I've always wanted something, I don't want to say more because that's judging what I want based on what someone else wants. I just wanted something outside of Wisconsin's little bubble because I honestly never realized how sheltered I was and started to like see more as I got older. Not just since moving to Florida, but post-college, I kind of really learned that there's a lot of stuff in Wisconsin, at least in the town I was in, that like I just wasn't exposed to. It's just not where I want to be. I don't want to have to drive 35 minutes to get to civilization. I like having things close. I like having a bunch of people around. I like that there's new people even though I'm scared to meet them. A lot of people go away to college for 4 years and they have to become their own person, and I didn't get that. And so even though I'm not like fully happy here yet, I'd rather find that here than find that in Wisconsin, where I know that there's nothing really more for Wisconsin to give me because I've already gotten 22 years of my life out of it. I have learned that your problems will follow you no matter where you go, and you just have to actually work through them because they're not going to go anywhere if you don't. A lot of you guys asked what I think triggers my episodes. I think in the more recent years, it's less a singular event that triggers something. I think I talked about this in my last video. I've been kind of on a very consistent cycle for the past like 2 or 3 years where it was at the end of August last year. I really wasn't okay, and then around my birthday I still wasn't great, but I was like kind of making my way back up, and then I got really happy around January-ish, and then ever since I've just been kind of slowly making my way back down, and that's just like a cycle that honestly I can kind of consistently trust to happen. The whole point of me like going to therapy this time and just doing things that I don't necessarily want to do is in hopes that like I don't have to keep going through that cycle. My therapist was explaining that the normal person's emotions are here, like they might waver like this as they get happy and sad, but for me, my emotions are like here and here if I'm sad, and it just goes all the way up and down, like there's no really in between. The goal would be to regulate that shit. But I wouldn't necessarily say I'm like triggered. Obviously I get like anxiety triggers, but not like to trigger like a whole episode. Right now I'm going to therapy once a week. If I need to, I can go more. Like if I start feeling like I'm having a bad week, I can go more. Because even though I'm feeling really good right now, I know that it doesn't necessarily mean I'm just better. A lot of you guys actually said this. I was just shocked. It's not something that I was necessarily expecting to see. You guys said, I always thought getting a boyfriend would make me feel better. Can you speak on this? And you guys like had it worded differently, but a lot of people had this same question. Yeah. There were people that just asked, I always thought that getting a partner would help me like not have issues anymore. I always thought that whatever. Yeah, you have some feelings on this, huh?
I do have feelings on it, but I have to pee.
You can't put your problems on another person and you can't expect them to fix your problems. If your only purpose for getting into a relationship is because you want them to make you feel better and fix your problems, then that's only gonna work for like the tiny little honeymoon phase, and then it's gonna like blow up in flames.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. You're now placing your insecurities, you're placing your trauma, you're placing your problems on someone. That's unfair to them. It's a matter of if they choose to want to help you, not you strictly getting the boyfriend or girlfriend, however y'all swing, in order to feel better. You don't have to be perfect for the person, because like we're all growing. Work on yourself first. I went through that before, and it's like they don't want to deal with it, they don't want to deal with it.
Your intentions going into the relationship have to be correct, and you have to already be making those steps for yourself.
Yeah,
I think it's an honest question. Like a lot of people do think,
why though?
your intention going in has to be like, I don't have to be alone just because I'm not perfect, but I am working on myself. If you want a relationship, that is totally fine, but you have to make sure your head's in the right spot and that you're going into it with the right mindset, because you can't just use someone to make you happy, because it's not gonna work. I have problems. I'm literally talking about my problems right now.
You do have problems, but I choose you. So in spite of your problems, cool, I'm here. I can help you, and you help me.
Yeah, so it's just about honesty. They can get into a relationship as long as they're honest.
Sure, use that.
You know what I mean?
That word.
Like if you're honest, you're upfront about, hey, these are things I'm struggling with that I'm working with, but I am working on myself. I'm not 100% where I want to be yet. And they're like, yeah, I'm down for it. They support you in your growth or whatever, and go for it. But you can't just be like, I'm gonna ignore my problems and use this person to make me happy. I'm adding something in here because I feel like that was the most confusing response to a question that I've ever given. Now that I'm just editing it back, basically all I am saying and all Gerald is saying is that you can't depend on someone else for your own happiness. And if you try and search for that happiness in another person, you're not gonna find it. You might think you find it temporarily, but in the long run, it's just not gonna work. On your own, you have to be happy. Your partner then like complements you and adds to that happiness, and they're not the source of that happiness. So if you can be honest, get into a relationship where you're like, hey, these are my problems, I'm dealing with them, and you're making an effort like on your own to be happy, then it's fine. If you go into it with the mindset that this person's gonna be the reason for my happiness, and if they're not in it, then you're not happy, then you probably should not get into a relationship, because it's not gonna work long term, and then you're just hurting someone else. Just because you're hurting doesn't mean we need to hurt other people in the process. That's hopefully a better answer. Someone said, what do you do when you find yourself overthinking? This is something I actually still struggle with. Whenever I'd be overthinking, I'd watch TV or read a book. I'm gonna start reading this book. I also made Gerald get this book. Maybe I'll be able to use like reading and stuff again. For a while when it was really bad, I couldn't even watch TV, I couldn't read, I couldn't get my mind to shut off for any period of time. My therapist really has instilled like, I need a schedule, I need a routine, which sounds so simple and like it really wouldn't make a big difference, but the difference in the amount of stuff I am able to get done in a day, start my mind in the right place. Like for me, it's like I wake wake up and I take Duncan on a walk, or like when Gerald's here, all of us go for a walk. And it's just such a good way to start my day. And I've noticed so much more in St. Pete since like walking around it. I mean, I've gone on plenty of walks, but I haven't actually paid attention while I'm on a walk. So like being more mindful as I'm walking, listening to like a podcast or music that Gerald sends me, just like anything, like just notice I get so much more done. Someone said, I'm your age, do you feel behind everyone else you grew up with? I would say I don't feel behind because I think I'm very lucky in the sense that I've been able to do something really cool, a career and stuff like that. Like I think even though not everyone has the same career, I think I've done pretty well in my career and I should be proud of myself for that. I can't be too mean to myself and I have to actually step back and look at what I have done, and that's pretty darn cool. But for a while I was so caught up on like timelines, like everyone's timeline. Rachel and Jade literally have babies, but like in my head, like they're moving so much farther forward with their lives. Like everyone's getting married, everyone is buying houses, which I really want to do. I really want to buy a house. And like when it comes to YouTube, like I was looking at like Hannah Malosha's life, other influencers' lives that like are different than mine, thinking that something was wrong with my life just because my life didn't look like theirs. I don't exactly know how I shook that and stopped thinking that way. It was so toxic and it really made me like hate everything I did. And even when I would try and like go out and film things or I don't know, work or exist, it was never enough because I was always comparing it to where everyone else was at.
I think you stopped doing that when you started realizing, I'm not saying you weren't grateful, so please don't get this wrong, but you realized what you did have and the opportunities you did have, and then you started exploring those and realizing like even if I don't have that, like I still got this.
It is like a mindset change. Like you, instead of looking at what you don't have, look at what you do have. Everyone is on their own timeline. Everyone is gonna experience things at different ages, and in our society it's so drilled that like you have to go down this specific path. Ever since I kind of veered off that, like I went my own little way on social media because like nobody did that where I was from. I just think like maybe there's always been that part of me that's like, am I doing the right thing? Which there's no one to say that I can't go back to school or create a different career alongside of this, but it is a normal feeling. I think a lot of people feel that way. I talked for way longer than I thought I was going to, but hopefully you guys got something out of this and this video and my last video. I need to get this out there so I can just like move forward, film normal stuff, but you guys also are maybe more aware of what's going on in my life. It could help somebody, and I haven't shared anything like this in a really long time. I've kind of just kept it to myself, tried to like fake it till I make it, and I don't really want to do that anymore because I never used to do that with you guys, and it is scary coming on to like a bigger audience and crying or talking about your problems and your struggles because everyone has an opinion and they can judge you on that. They can say you're weak, they can just say whatever. I care more about the people that this is gonna help versus the people that might think I'm weird or cringy. I don't really care. As I feel better, my content will hopefully become more fun for you guys and happy and cheery, but I also just want to be real. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.